Fuzzy, the Series S has once again made the news, and not in a way that a lot of people are wondering. Now, this is a console that has been the quote unquote whipping boy of gamers in the community,
Mhm.
journalists on your favorite websites, and we've even seen some developers who came out of their way or went out of their way to try and knock down the Series S. Now, granted, is it the most powerful console? It is not. Is it an affordable console? Yes. At one point, Fuzzy, it was outselling the Series X because of price. And I've said this before, and we'll see. I'm wondering whether or not this is going to be the year that Xbox and marketing actually get it right. Now, again, this is not the story, but it's context for the story. I'm hoping that there is a warehouse full of 512 gigabyte Series S consoles, and they got to get rid of those consoles. And if they are smart, and they haven't hired me yet for marketing, so they're already doing it wrong, but I'm going to give them credit, because if you do have a warehouse of 512 gigabyte consoles, and they just might, you turn around and you slap a sticker. I don't care if you want to cheap out and just slap a Call of Duty sticker on every box, that's fine. That's not the way I would personally do it. I would redesign the box to have Call of Duty Black Ops on that box, and it would be $200. Now, I would not give the game away. What I would do is I would give a 30-day Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription to every box. Now, if you want to sweeten the pot and you want to give them 2 months, give them 60 days. Okay. And then obviously you slap that on the box, 60 days of Xbox Game Pass when you buy the console, $199.99 during Black Friday. What you do is you sell a whole bunch of consoles. You potentially win Black Friday with your leftover stock of your 512s, and you get new people who may currently be on an Xbox One X or a PS4 or PS4 Pro to finally upgrade to next gen. And look, I understand for us tech guys who have the big TVs and the headphones and the Series X and the PS5 Pros and the $10,000 rigs that you have hidden underneath your desk, I get all of that. I know that may not mean a lot to us. But if you are coming from the PlayStation 4 era and the Xbox One era, the Series S is a massive upgrade. And we do know that the Series S actually, and this is fact, you can fact check me on this, has more 120 frame games than the PS5.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fact, folks. So again, I know that I was a little long and this was not really the conversation I wanted to have, but it's context to what the story is. Now, according to GameSpot, GTA 6 on Xbox Series S, according to Zelnick, he simply says, I'm not really worried. Now, again, how did this all transpire? Well, Grand Theft Auto 6 is in development for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and surprisingly enough, the Series S. But how will the game look and perform on the relatively less powerful Series S? The guy is asking. Well, we don't know for sure, according to the article, but Take-Two boss Straus Zelnick is not losing sleep over it. During Take-Two's latest earning calls, Fuzzy, Zelnick was asked specifically about the Series S being, by design, a lower spec console compared to the Series X and PS5. GTA 6 is expected to be a boundary-pushing game, technically speaking, prompting concerns by some, I wonder who those people are, that it won't be a great experience on the lesser powerful console. Well, I think it has been put to rest exactly if that's going to be an issue, because here is what Zelnick said, and I quote, "Look, we support the platforms where the consumers are for as long as they are. And we find a way to support platforms despite different levels of tech.
Mm-hmm.
Our labels are really good at that. I'm not really worried," said Zelnick. And of course, the executive went on to say, if one platform diminishes in value, there's always another one. So we're seeing great growth on PC right now, for an example. Zelnick added that PC will continue to be more and more important for Take-Two's business going forward, saying that supporting PC isn't complicated for us. Many are wondering if GTA will come to PC, and Zelnick's commentary here sounds like it's possible. Now, we know how that is. They're going to release it a year later so you can go out and buy it after you've already bought it on your PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles. That's just what they do.
Yeah.
But he does go on to say, finally, the bottom line is we are selective about which platform we support. We make the tech work when we can and make it work as long as the audience is big enough to make it worthwhile. Mm-hmm. So again, he goes on to simply say he is not losing sleep over getting the GTA 6 version running on the Xbox Series S. This is great news.
Yeah.
And if there's one publisher that does have the tech know-how, and again, we have not heard that the delay or the lack of GTA releasing this year had anything to do with the Series S whatsoever. No one has even uttered that. And hearing this tells me that even though the S is in fact less powerful, Fuzzy, it's going to run, and it's going to probably run pretty damn good because, again, Rockstar are wizards at getting those games to run. What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, and I don't know why anybody had doubts on what the Series S was capable of, considering it's from a video card standpoint, even though it's an APU where it's the video card and CPU combined, it's only a hair down from the X. It's mainly on the video card side that it's down. And if it's going to be able to run on the X, it's just a matter of dialing back some of the graphical detail. So instead of it running at 4K, have it run at 1080. And that was the whole purpose of the Series S. And Rockstar is a great development studio, although sometimes when it comes to their optimization on PC, it could be a little questioned at times. But I think that's mainly because PC is such a wide gambit of spec as far as, video cards from 10 years ago to today, and, CPUs from as far back as 5 years ago to today. So it's like there's a lot more wiggle room as far as that they'd have to account for. But when it comes to a console, and considering they're a great dev to use the SDK or the kits that the actual platforms provide, there's no doubt that they'll be able to get the best out of the Series S and the Series X when it comes to upscaling this game, or making it for the Series X and then downscaling it for the Series S. I don't know why anybody had any doubts, but I think the bigger thing now is going to be, with that being said, that's another one that for, I guess, the holiday of 2025 could be a big push, because you're going to be one of the cheapest entry points to be able to play GTA 6 instead of waiting until it comes to PC, which I'm of the mindset that they're probably going to wait a year, like you said, make everybody buy it on console and then buy it again on PC kind of thing. But I think if you look at it where, let's just say GTA stays at $70. I think they might do something a little different. I think they might go subscription as opposed to the $100 quotes that a lot of people are thinking. But we'll see how that works out. But if it's a $70 game and the console for Black Friday in 2025 is going for $200, you're getting the game and the console for under $300 out the door. You're not going to be able to do that any other way, especially if you're coming from PS4, which it sounds like, and if I'm not mistaken, they've already cut off the previous gen. So Xbox One and PS4 are kind of SOL at this
They're
point.
out. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So for all of those that are on that platform, if they want to play GTA 6, which probably a good bit of them will, they're going to have to upgrade, and the $300 price point for the game and the console coming through with the Series S, I think is the way to go. I think the Slim, as far as the PS5, you could probably see that in like the 400 range, let's say at best for an all digital. We're already seeing that the launch edition, or like the up to the current edition Series X, is going for $450 now. They have a $50 off type of deal. Who knows? Maybe Xbox does the same thing where you can get a Series X for around $400 to $450, holiday of 2025. So we'll see. But I think the price point is going to be the biggest thing to drive new console sales next holiday. This holiday, it's probably going to be the same thing. But I think for a next-gen only title like GTA 6 and the anticipation for it, the Series S, they're going to want to make sure that thing is optimized, just like EA did for NCAA. Like, we heard how many stores and outlets talking about how the Series S was selling great because that was an easy entry point for NCAA football when that was a next-gen only title. You couldn't play that on your PS4 or your Xbox One. So there was a handful of people that have been looking forward to that game that are like, you know what? I guess I got to step up to the next generation. And for, like I said, for the price of probably around that point, it was like a little over 300. Or if you're trading in your previous console, you probably paid like maybe 100 to 170, more to get into the next gen and get that game. Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer at this point. And Take-Two loves money, and if they're able to sell Series S's, I don't think they're worried about selling consoles for the platforms. I think they're just worried about putting the game in people's hands. And if they know a lot of people are on last gen, the Series S is going to be one that they need to focus on, because that will be, the gateway drug to get a lot of people into GTA 6 online, and, for them to make billions monthly off of that. So, yeah, I had never had a doubt on it, especially after games like Baldur's Gate 3 being optimized for the Series S made it a 30% uplift for all other platforms, including PC. So there's something to the Series S that people need to recognize, that it's a powerful kit that unfortunately not all the devs spend the time or resources getting the most out of. But hopefully with the PS5 Pro out there, maybe that'll change, for the fact that they'll have to start using the same techniques that makes the Series X and S special, as far as some of the RDNA techniques, as far as for ray tracing and whatnot. So we'll see how things go. But yeah, I expect all platforms to be 30 frames and the Series S to be a rock solid 30 frames, just at 1080. I mean, if they can get 1440, great, but I expect 30 frames, 1080, and then whatever the replacement for the Series S next gen, that'll be the one we have to talk about as far as 60 frames.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we get that, this, was it the Game Awards? We get some word about the handheld. So then you could play GTA 6 on the go.
Go.